This is the major problem.
As Ronald's team examines the engine, they find an oil leak.
A very big problem I see now.
Damage to the crankshaft, caused by a pin in the crank working loose, resulted in a scored crankcase, leaving metal fragments on the piston which were being burned. This could have led to an explosion which would blow the boat out of the water.
You can see it on the cylinder head. But I think it's because of the damage on the piston.
The pin had severely scored the engine case. Had they not stopped the tests when they did, because of the high pressures within this racing engine, the case could have shattered, blowing the engine apart.
That's for sure. Just runs for 1.5 hours. And already the crankshaft is broken. Could you imagine how much power we get out of this box? Okay. Normally it runs for 10 or 20 years with the same crankshaft. We did 1.5 hours. But I think we gone too far. That's why it's broken.
Grinding the crankcase, polishing the cylinder head and pots whilst replacing the broken crank, Ronald's team undertakes a major engine rebuild less than 2 days before the World Championships. Ronald finds it impossible to handle the tension as he watches his team rebuild the engine. He escapes to the heart of Amsterdam.
As the day of the race gets nearer, I find I need some moments of space, away from the pressure of boats, engine preparation. In central Amsterdam, I feel I can be alone there, but also there are people around me. I can find some peace there.
Walking the city streets, Ronald spends a sleepless night as he waits for his team to do their work. Having worked through the night, the engine's been rebuilt. The team is exhausted, running on adrenaline as they prepare the boat and Ronald's backup boat for the 180-mile journey to Groningen, Northern Holland. Arriving in Groningen, they join 64 other competitors from around the world. The team begins preparations to establish their pit area. Despite fatigue and worries about the engine build, Ronald knows there's no turning back. As the pits are established, Ronald sorts out his paperwork with the race officials. He presents his piloting license and an insurance document for $3 million.
Now everything is all right. Now we're in. Everything is...
But
now we have the time to check everything.
Need more speed.
I feel the need.
I feel the need for speed. And this is where they're going to find more speed, because I want to win tomorrow.
As the speed trials take place, Ronald's team count the cost of the engine rebuild. Problems in Formula 4 can be very expensive to correct. These boats cost up to $34,000 US. Ronald secured funding from a number of sources.
I met Ronald 3 years ago on an exhibition in Amsterdam, the motor exhibition. And then he told me about his career, and I thought, oh, this maybe it's very important for Duraloil to sponsor them. And then I have seen his boat, and I was very impressed after that. This year I have helping Ronald with special oil for the engine, and I have helping with financial supporting. I didn't pay the total, but I'm part of that.
The following morning, on the day of the race, the competing pilots meet at a pre-race briefing. Dutchman Kees van der Velten, himself an ex-Formula 1 powerboat champion, is in charge. Van der Velten explains the rules of the circuit. There'll be 4 heats. Whoever achieves the highest score in 3 of the 4 heats will be the winner. Each heat will consist of 12 laps. Should there be a restart in any of the heats, all points gained previously in that heat will be null and void.
It's like a big barbecue party and, you know, and all kinds of things going on in the pit. Today, no smoking, no alcohol. If I see one of the officials, one of the drivers, one of the mechanics, all family in the pit drinking alcohol, you're disqualified. At 11 o'clock, we start a roll call. If your name,
The pressure is on and tensions are running high.
you're disqualified. Be careful, safe, a nice day.
24 boats will be competing on the circuit. It'll be a dangerous course.
We just overlooked the water, and the wind is much stronger than yesterday. So what we're going to do is lower the engine 1 millimeter to get the boat down against the wind, so I can turn better. But I have a strong feeling I can't get it down before the turn point. We have a problem with probably the floaters or water coming into the engine. At the end of the straight, the engine drops down in RPM.
Water is clearly being sucked into the engine. Ronald and Api had thought that the power drop-off had been caused by a fuel blockage, so in testing they installed another fuel line. But in fact, the problem was caused by the shape of the cowling and the air intake.